Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Easy Way of Learning. So in today's channel we will be discussing about chapter Reproduction in Animals for class 8. So students, the basic definition of reproduction is to give birth or to produce a new individual of their own kind is what basically the meaning of reproduction is. That is, production of new individual of the same kind. Basically, there are two modes of reproduction. First being the sexual reproduction and the other being the asexual mode of reproduction. Right? As it is written in sexual reproduction, female and male gametes combine to form a zygote which develops into new organism. In simple means, sexual reproduction is basically those modes of reproduction in which both the parents, that is, male parent and the female parent, are required. When both are combined, they produce a new individual, right? That is sexual mode of reproduction. Talking about asexual mode of reproduction, only single parent is required to give birth to new individual. There is no fusion of male and female gametes. And what are those gametes? We will discuss about those gametes in details, at which are the parts in male and female reproductive structures, what are those, what are the types of gametes they produce, how they develop into a new individual, and rest process. So, talking about in details about the sexual reproduction, the first part is male reproductive organ, right? If male and female gametes are different, so we will have both reproductive structures different. In male reproductive structures, there are three things. First being a pair of testes, two sperm ducts, and a penis. Pair of testes is what basically a structure where the sperms are produced. Sperm ducts are the tunnel like structure or a tube like structure through which the sperm released out. And the penis is basically the external area where the whole male reproductive structures are found, and it is situated outside the body. Why it is situated outside the body? It is situated outside the body to maintain the temperature, right? Okay. See, it is written here. Testes produce male gametes called sperm. Sperms are what? Small in size, and sperm has a head, a middle piece, and a tail. Correct? This is the basic structure of a sperm. Sperm is head region in upper part, then middle piece, and in last the tail. After the male reproductive structures, it has female reproductive structures, which is consist of pair of ovaries, oviduct, and uterus. Oviduct is also called as fallopian tube, right? As in we have seen in male reproductive structures, testes produce sperm, which is the male gamete. Here, ovary produce a female gamete that is called ova or egg, correct? And uterus being the part where the whole development of embryo take place, right? Egg is a single cell structure. Sperm is also a single cell structure which combine to form a single cell zygote. See, here we can see the female reproductive structure. It is very rough diagram, and you will study in more details about the structure in further classes. But in class 8, this is a general diagram which shows us the oviduct where the fertilization takes place. It is the ovary which secretes or produces the gametes, and it is called the uterus where the development of embryo take place. See, the next term comes is fertilization. What is the fertilization? The proper meaning of fertilization is when the male gamete, that is the sperm, and the female gamete, that is the egg or ova, comes together, get fused, it forms a different cell known as zygote. That whole process is known as fertilization. What is male gamete? Male gametes are sperms and female gametes are egg. See, it is written fusion of male gamete, that is sperm, and fusion of female gamete, that is egg, is called fertilization. Sperm is motile or mobile. Mobile or motile means it can move from one place to another, right? So sperm are produced by the male gamete. Sperm is produced by the male reproductive structures. It goes to the female reproductive structures where the egg is present and it fuses with the egg to form a structure that is known as zygote. See, here we can see it is ovum. Ovum is basically what? The egg or the ova, that is a female reproductive female gametes, which get fused by the sperm. Sperm is mobile or motile gametes which comes to the female gamete. It fuses and forms a nuclei, that is the structure is known as zygote. This process where the fusion of male gamete and female gamete take place, it is known as fertilization. After the fusion, they form a different structures known as zygote. Correct? Talking about the fertilization, there are basically two types of fertilization. One being the external fertilization, the other being the internal fertilization. What is basically the difference in both the terms? As we can see, internal means something happening inside. So as in case of humans, what we see, the fertilization or the development or the whole process of a baby developing, it take place inside a female body. So that is a basically example of internal fertilization. Fertilization which takes place inside the body of female. Correct? And they produce a young ones. Whereas what is external fertilization? External fertilization is a process in which the fertilization takes place outside the body of an individual. It means they do not produce a young ones. They lay eggs. As example, we can see in hen, fishes, frog. What we can see first egg is produced and after cell process the egg get converted into a new individual. So that is a whole process which takes place in external fertilization. So basic difference between the internal and external fertilization. External fertilization is a process in which fertilization takes place outside the body of individual. Fertilization which takes place inside the body of female, that is internal fertilization. External fertilization give birth to eggs and internal fertilization give birth to young ones. Examples are fish and frog. Examples are humans, cow, dogs, etc. Right? So, after fertilization, the next topic is development of embryo. What is this embryo? As we have discussed that after fertilization, what we get is zygote. We get zygote as a fertilized product, right? So, zygote is a single cell structure. When the zygote divides and form a multiple cell structure, that whole structure is known as what? Embryo. It is written also zygote develops into an embryo. Zygote divides to give rise to a ball of cell. That is known as embryo. Correct? The embryo is the product which get embedded into uterus. We have discussed that uterus is a part of reproductive structure, female reproductive structure, where the whole development of the baby, the fetus takes place. Correct? So first process is fusion. First process is fusion, that is fertilization. After fertilization, what happens? Zygote forms. Then the zygote divides and give rise to embryo. Correct? So what happens to the embryo? Embryo gets embedded into uterus. Embryo slowly develops the body parts. What body parts? Like hands, head, whole body part of a human. In case of humans, like head, eyes, face, ears, hands, legs, heart, everything is developed inside the embryo. The stage in which the embryo gets whole developed, it is known as fetus. And when the fetus is completely developed, it comes out of the body, that is, baby is produced. So in the flowchart, we can see first process is ovulation. Ovulation is what? Basically, the ovary releases egg. It is a process when the ovary releases egg. It is known as ovulation. Then fertilization takes place. Male gamete and female gamete fuses together. It forms a zygote, the third step. The zygote divides and forms embryo. Embryo embedded into the uterus. In embryo, body parts develop. Embryo develops into fetus. When fetus develop, it takes birth as a baby. So this is basically the whole process of sexual reproduction in humans or in animals. We will be discussing about asexual mode of reproduction in our next video. I hope this chapter is pretty much clear for class 8th, and if you have any doubt in further questions, you can simply comment down and I will make sure to answer your doubts. Thank you. Enjoy your day.